Welcome back to Wrestling News CC, your ultimate destination for jaw-dropping WWE news, shocking moments, and the biggest twists in wrestling today. Tonight, we bring you a story that rocked the WWE Universe to its core, a match so unpredictable, so intense, so emotionally charged, it will be remembered as one of the most defining moments in recent WWE history. This is the story of how three of WWE's most iconic and controversial superstars, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Sami Zayn, joined forces for one epic night on SmackDown to face off against the powerhouse trio of Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, and the returning Bronson Reed. A night where alliances were forged, grudges exploded, and the very foundation of WWE was shaken to its core. Stay with us, because we're going to break down exactly how this clash came to be, every explosive moment from the match, and what this means for the future of WWE. Our story begins in the aftermath of WWE's Saturday Night Main Event, when Seth Rollins, the architect, made it crystal clear he was done playing the role of a contender. No, Seth wanted something bigger. He wanted power. He wanted control. And most of all, he wanted to destroy anyone who dared to stand in his path. Seth Rollins wasn't just looking to be WWE's top champion, he wanted to dominate the entire landscape. Enter Bron Breakker, the young, unstoppable powerhouse with a legacy in his blood and a fire in his eyes. Seth saw in Breakker not just muscle, but raw potential, a perfect weapon to help him build an unstoppable force. But it wasn't enough. The final piece to Seth's puzzle. The shock return of Bronson Reed. After months of speculation, Reed came back to WWE, but instead of walking the lone wolf path or clashing with Rollins, he aligned himself with Seth. Together, Rollins, Breakker, and Reed became an unstoppable faction, a trio built on domination and destruction. Their first target? Two of WWE's most beloved fan favorites, CM Punk and Sami Zayn. One fateful night, backstage at SmackDown, the alliance struck with brutal precision. CM Punk and Sami Zayn, caught off guard after a hard-fought match, were ambushed. The beating was vicious, leaving the WWE Universe stunned. The message was clear, Seth Rollins and his new faction were here to take over. But no story is complete without a counterbalance. Enter the head of the table, Roman Reigns. Roman, who had been dominating as WWE's Universal Champion and the face of the company, saw the chaos unleashed by Seth's faction and knew this threat had to be stopped. Despite past tensions with both CM Punk and Sami Zayn, Roman understood that sometimes, even bitter rivals have to join forces for a greater cause. The stage was set. For one night only, three of WWE's most dynamic superstars, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Sami Zayn, united. They put aside personal histories, grudges, and distrust. Their mission was clear, stop Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, and Bronson Reed before they tore WWE apart. The bell rang, and what followed was an all-out war. Seth Rollins showed his trademark resilience and cunning, working with Breakker and Reed like a finely tuned machine. Breakker's raw power shook the ring, while Bronson Reed used his experience and size to dominate. But the trio of Punk, Reigns, and Zayn fought back with everything they had. Punk's technical mastery and fearless attitude clashed against Seth's aggression. Roman brought the intensity and experience of a true champion, while Sami Zayn's cunning and heart kept them all in the fight. Punk vs. Rollins, an instant classic, with near falls and submission attempts that had the crowd on the edge of their seats. Breakker's power moves, several crushing suplexes and powerbombs, turning the momentum several times. Bronson Reed's return moments. His signature, avalanche, moments brought the house down, re-establishing him as a force to be reckoned with. Roman's dominance, the head of the table pulled off multiple spear attacks and Superman punches, showing why he remains WWE's top dog. Sami's desperation and heart, constantly finding ways to keep his team alive, earning cheers for his grit. In a stunning twist, the match's climax saw Seth Rollins attempt a superplex on CM Punk, only for Roman Reigns to intervene with a thunderous spear that shifted the tide. Then, in a jaw-dropping moment, Sami Zayn used his ring awareness to trap Bronson Reed in an unexpected submission hold, weakening the big man just enough. This opened the door for Punk to hit his famous go-to-sleep on Rollins, followed by Roman's devastating spear. The crowd exploded as the referee counted to 3. The victory was more than just a win, it was a statement. It showed that even the fiercest rivals can unite when the future of WWE is at stake. But it also exposed deep cracks. Seth Rollins, Breakker, and Reed are not done. The war is far from over. Rumors swirl of tensions within the victors' camp, with old grudges threatening to resurface. Will CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Sami Zayn maintain their fragile alliance? Can Seth Rollins regroup and strike back with even more force? The dust began to settle after the brutal war on SmackDown, but the aftermath left more questions than answers. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Sami Zayn had emerged victorious, but their alliance, as temporary as it may have been, left WWE fans wondering, how long will this fragile union last? Roman Reigns, the head of the table, stood tall at the center of the ring, holding his Universal Championship high. The image of him sharing the spotlight with CM Punk and Sami Zayn was surreal, considering their complicated histories. Punk, ever the wild card, had found himself on the same side as his longtime rival, Roman. Despite their personal animosities and years of back and forth, they managed to work together, and it worked. But it wasn't just about the match anymore. The emotions were raw, and the tension was palpable. Sami Zayn, who had been battling his own demons in WWE for months, found himself in an unfamiliar position, fighting for something greater than himself. His connection with Roman, while unpredictable, seemed to have worked in the heat of battle. The group celebrated their hard-earned victory, but there was an underlying uncertainty about the road ahead. Would Sami Zayn stay aligned with Roman and Punk, or would his loyalty to his old friends, or his own personal ambition, pull him in another direction? On the other side of the ring, Seth Rollins, despite the loss, wasn't done yet. He was a mastermind, a manipulator, and a planner who always had something up his sleeve. Seth Rollins had wanted power, and after the events that unfolded, it was clear he wasn't going to give up on that ambition so easily. Seth's rage was palpable. He slammed his fist against the mat, furious at the outcome but knowing deep down that this was just the beginning of his journey toward ultimate control. He wasn't alone in this fight. Breakker and Reed were his allies, and while they didn't secure the win on this night, the faction still had an overwhelming amount of power and influence in the locker room. Could Seth Rollins rally his troops and go after Roman Reigns' Universal Championship? Would Rollins start manipulating Bron Breakker further to make his way into the main event picture? One thing was certain, Seth Rollins would never forget this defeat, and he would be hell-bent on coming back stronger, smarter, and more dangerous than ever before. Bronson Reed, the towering force of nature, seemed to be struggling in the aftermath of the loss. The decision to side with Seth Rollins, rather than pursue individual glory, might have left Reed feeling frustrated and potentially questioning his path. Bronson Reed, a fan favorite who had returned to WWE with a vengeance, was clearly looking to make his mark. But instead of setting his own course, he found himself being swept up in Seth's larger plan. The powerhouse had to ask himself, was Rollins' control truly what he wanted? And did the big man actually align with Seth out of loyalty, or was there another layer to this partnership that hasn't been revealed yet? Could Reed eventually strike out on his own and challenge Seth's authority, creating a massive rift in the faction? WWE fans couldn't help but wonder if the returning Reed might be on the verge of a heel turn, one that could change the entire dynamic of the SmackDown roster. While Rollins was plotting his next move, the future of Bron Breakker was equally uncertain. The powerhouse son of Rick Steiner had displayed his incredible strength during the match, but his actions seemed to be more than just about power, there was something deeper there. Bron had made a clear commitment to Seth Rollins, but was he starting to realize that maybe his loyalty to Seth was a mistake? After all, Rollins had been primarily focused on his own agenda, not really giving Breakker the spotlight he desired. Would Breakker decide to take matters into his own hands? The question on everyone's mind, Was Bron Breakker going to be the next superstar to break free from Rollins' control, seeking his own path to glory? After all, with his heritage and raw talent, Breakker could easily become a major player in WWE's future, but would he continue to be Seth's puppet, or would he strike out as a force on his own? Now, we come to the heart of the story. Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Two of the most iconic, yet polarizing figures in WWE history. These men had always found themselves at odds. Punk's rebellious attitude and biting words clashed with Roman's dominance and unshakable belief in his superiority. Their personalities, their fighting styles, their philosophies, they couldn't be more different. But after this match, it's clear that their paths are on a collision course. Will Roman Reigns, the head of the table, grow complacent in his role as the top champion, or will CM Punk, the provocateur, push him to his limits, forcing Roman to defend everything he stands for? It's a rivalry that has been decades in the making, and one that could define the future of the company for years to come. Punk's return to WWE was supposed to be a one-time moment, but after showing just how dangerous he is when he sets his sights on something, many believe he's not done yet. Can Roman Reigns keep his grip on the Universal Championship with Punk breathing down his neck? Fans are already salivating over the possibility of these two giants colliding again, this time, for something bigger than a match. This could be a battle for control, for legacy, for the future of WWE itself. Sami Zayn was caught in a difficult spot. The Canadian superstar has been one of the most intriguing figures in WWE over the past few years, mixing moments of comedy with deep emotional storytelling. Now, after this wild alliance with Roman and Punk, where does Sami fit into this chaos? His relationship with Roman Reigns has always been complex, and his own motivations have often been questioned. Was he fighting for a better cause, or was he simply looking for survival in an unpredictable environment? In the aftermath of the match, fans began to wonder, would Sami Zayn stay true to this unexpected alliance, or would he seek to break free and find his own way? Was he truly on the side of Roman Reigns and CM Punk, or was there a hidden agenda beneath the surface? As WWE heads into the next chapter of its story, one thing is clear: Sami Zayn's future is full of uncertainty. Could he turn heel and challenge Roman Reigns? Or will he finally embrace his true potential as one of WWE's top stars? As we look forward to the future, the fallout from this brutal SmackDown match will echo throughout the company. We could see an epic showdown between Roman Reigns and CM Punk, two of the most captivating stars in WWE history. The fate of Sami Zayn is up in the air. Will he turn his back on the alliance? Or will he fight for a greater cause? Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, and Bronson Reed won't stay down for long. Their thirst for power, control, and revenge will fuel their next moves, and they'll undoubtedly strike back with even more fury. And don't forget about Bronson Reed. His journey in WWE is only just beginning, and after aligning with Seth Rollins, he's going to make waves in a way no one saw coming. And that's all we have for today, folks. This SmackDown match between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, and Bronson Reed was a pivotal moment in WWE history. It was a battle that changed everything, setting the stage for future rivalries, alliances, and storylines that will keep fans on the edge of their seats. But what do you think? Who do you think will come out on top when all is said and done? Is Roman Reigns truly untouchable, or will CM Punk find a way to take him down? Will Sami Zayn find his own path, or will he remain loyal to his unlikely allies? And how will Seth Rollins respond to this crushing defeat? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video, subscribe to Wrestling News CC, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest updates from the world of WWE. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with more breaking news, twists, and intense drama straight from the world of WWE. If you thought tonight's story was wild, trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. So don't stop now. Click on the video right here on your screen to continue the chaos, the drama, and the inside scoop only we deliver. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and join the Wrestling News CC family, where the real stories of WWE come to life. See you in the next one.